Welcome to the Scenario Podcast, your guide to mental health and well-being. Each episode, we uncover practical tools, discuss expert insights, and explore how supplements can transform your mental health journey. Get ready to learn, grow, and thrive with us.
Okay, here's a thought. Could getting a bit more sunshine actually, lift your mood? Today we're doing a deep dive into vitamin D3. People call it the sunshine vitamin, right? And we're looking at its surprising link to mental well-being, particularly depression. Our mission here is to really break down the science, see if supplements actually work, and understand why so many people seem to be low on D3 these days. It's kind of a quiet issue.
It really is striking. Vitamin D3 deficiency has become incredibly common, hasn't it? Probably because we spend so much time inside now, and understanding its role, well, it goes way beyond just bones. It seems to fundamentally impact brain function, how we regulate mood. That's why this deep dive is, I think, so important. It highlights something foundational for health that often gets missed when people are, struggling mentally.
Definitely. So we all know it as the sunshine vitamin, but can you maybe peel back the layers a bit? Like, what is vitamin D3 actually, and what does it do once it's in our system?
Absolutely. So the scientific name is cholecalciferol. Basically, it's a fat-soluble vitamin. Your skin makes it naturally when sunlight hits it. But the really fascinating part is what happens next. Once your body converts it, it acts less like a typical vitamin and, well, more like a hormone. It influences literally thousands of genes. And that includes genes that are absolutely crucial for how your brain works and, yes, how your mood is regulated. You might also hear about vitamin D2, but D3, the cholecalciferol, that's really the more potent and bioavailable form, especially when we're talking about mental health support.
Okay, so more like a hormone, not just a nutrient. That means its reach is much broader, right? Especially in the brain.
Exactly. It's not just something the body uses. It's more like it directs things at a cellular level, and that insight is key, I think. It helps explain why being deficient isn't just a minor imbalance. It's potentially disrupting fundamental genetic processes, which could explain these deep links to mood.
Right. And speaking of those links, the research we looked at, wow, some really compelling stuff connecting D3 levels and depression.
Yeah.
What are the studies telling us?
Yeah, the evidence is certainly building. A big one was a meta-analysis back in 2013, Anglin and colleagues. They looked at 14 studies, over 31,000 people involved, and they found a significant association. Lower vitamin D levels were clearly linked to a higher risk of depression. Now, they did say, we need clinical trials to prove cause and effect, but the correlation itself was just so consistent across all these different groups.
Okay, so a strong association, a clear pattern.
Yeah.
That definitely gets your attention. But did any research show it actually helping? Like, did people feel better if they boosted their D3?
Yes, exactly. That leads us to a randomized controlled trial from 2018, Sajadi et al. This study showed real therapeutic potential. They took people with major depressive disorder, gave them a pretty high dose, 50,000 IU of vitamin D3 weekly for 8 weeks, and compared to the placebo group, they saw a notable reduction in depression severity scores.
50,000 IU weekly, that's quite a bit. But a notable reduction, that's significant. And how does the wider scientific view sort of pull this all together?
Well, there was a 2020 review, Liu et al., published in Nutrients, that looked at the broader picture. It concluded there's a close link between deficiency and higher depression risk. And crucially, it suggested that supplementation could be an effective and, importantly, affordable adjunct strategy. So not a cure on its own, but a really valuable addition to treatment, especially for people who are actually deficient. It works alongside other therapies.
Adjunct, okay. A supporting player, but potentially a powerful one. So if D3 acts like this crucial hormone, what kind of levels are we actually aiming for? How much do you need for these mood benefits?
Right. Well, that's where it gets a bit individual. Daily needs really vary quite a lot. Depends on your age, where you live, obviously how much sun you get, your overall health, lots of factors. But, in the studies looking at mental health, they often use doses somewhere between 1,000 and 5,000 IU per day. It's worth mentioning some clinical situations might involve higher doses, maybe up to 10,000 IU, but that's usually short-term and definitely needs medical supervision. Honestly, the best way to know what you need is a blood test. That's the gold standard. For mental well-being, the optimal range seems to be around 30 to 50 ng/ml or 75 to 125 nml, just different units measuring the same thing.
30 to 50 nanograms per milliliter.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. It really does sound like a lot of us could be deficient and just not know it. Our sources pointed out several risk factors. What are some of the big ones people should be aware of?
You're absolutely right. It's often hidden until you feel symptoms like fatigue or low mood. So, number one, maybe the most obvious, just spending very little time outdoors. If you work inside all day or you actively avoid the sun, your body just doesn't get the chance to make enough D3. And this is a bigger issue if you live, say, up north or somewhere with long winters. Less UVB radiation, especially autumn and winter, leads to those seasonal dips in D levels, and that's thought to be linked to SAD, seasonal affective disorder.
Right, the winter blues connection. So
Yeah.
basically, modern indoor life is a major risk factor in itself. What else?
Another big one is having darker skin. Melanin is a natural sunblock, which is great for protection, but it does mean it takes significantly longer sun exposure to make the same amount of vitamin D3. So individuals with darker skin often need more sun, or more practically might need supplementation. And then there's sunscreen. We all know it's vital for preventing skin cancer, right? But wearing even SPF 30 can slash your D3 production by something like 95 to 98%.
Wow, 95 to 98%. That's huge. It really is a bit of a catch-22, isn't it? Protect your skin, potentially lose out on D3. What about things like body weight or gut health?
Yeah, those are important too. Being overweight or obese is a factor. Because vitamin D is fat soluble, it gets stored in body fat. So if you have more body fat, more D3 can get sort of sequestered or trapped there, meaning less is available in your bloodstream to actually do its job. It can create a kind of functional deficiency. And then absolutely gut health matters. Conditions like IBS, celiac, Crohn's, or even having had bariatric surgery, these can impair your ability to absorb fat-soluble vitamins, including D3, so you might need higher doses from supplements just to get enough absorbed.
So it's not just about making it or getting it, but also absorbing and utilizing it properly. Are older adults more at risk too?
Yes, definitely. As we get older, a few things happen. Our skin just doesn't synthesize D3 as efficiently from sunlight. The kidneys might also be less effective at converting it into its active form. Plus, older adults often spend less time outdoors, so it's kind of a triple whammy sometimes. Oh, and one more group. People following strict vegan or plant-based diets. D3 is mostly in animal foods, fatty fish, egg yolks, liver. So if you're vegan, you really need to rely on fortified foods or look for specific vegan D3 supplements, usually made from lichen.
Okay, that covers a lot of ground. And I suspect for many listeners, hearing all these risk factors, the next logical question is, should I think about taking a supplement?
For a lot of people, the answer is probably yes, it's worth considering. Supplementation is generally safe, and it's definitely an effective way to boost your levels, especially, during winter or if your lifestyle just doesn't allow for much sun exposure. If you are looking for a supplement, a few tips. Look for vitamin D3. That's the cholecalciferol, not D2. Also, oil-based forms like soft gels or liquid drops, they tend to be absorbed better because it's fat soluble. And something else you might see, some formulas include vitamin K2. There's some evidence this helps with calcium regulation and might be good for cardiovascular health, working alongside the D3.
Good tips. D3, oil-based, maybe with K2. Now, this sounds incredibly useful, especially as you called it an adjunct strategy. But is there danger if someone might hear this and think, great, I'll just pop a high-dose D3 pill and my mood issues are solved? What's the bigger picture here? Is it a magic bullet?
Yeah, that's a really important point to make. It's definitely not a magic bullet. While it can be incredibly helpful, vitamin D3 really works best as part of a holistic approach to mental wellness. It's not going to cure clinical depression all by itself. So alongside checking your D3 levels, it's key to integrate other things, like making an effort to spend, say, 15 to 30 minutes outside each day if you can. Regular movement, exercise, hugely beneficial for mood. And maybe looking into other nutrients that are known to support mood. Things like omega-3 fatty acids, magnesium, B vitamins. Some resources we saw even suggest personalized quizzes to help figure out a supplement blend that might suit your specific needs. It's about building a whole support system.
Right, a comprehensive toolkit, not just one tool. Okay, so wrapping this up, what's the main takeaway for everyone listening? This deep dive really paints D3 as much more than just for bone, doesn't it? It seems foundational for mental health.
Absolutely. It's like a hidden regulator for mood and energy. Low levels can just quietly drain you, sap your motivation, make everything feel heavier. So for anyone out there struggling with low mood, persistent fatigue, or even depression, getting your vitamin D levels checked is such a simple step, but it's often overlooked, and it could be a really important piece of the puzzle for feeling better.
Definitely seems worth investigating. Okay, let's quickly hit a few FAQs that came up from our sources, just for some clear final points. First, can vitamin D3 alone cure depression?
No. As we've said, it's a part of a comprehensive approach. Therapy, nutrition, lifestyle changes are all usually needed too.
Okay. Second, is there a best time of day to take it?
Generally best with a meal that contains some fat to help absorption. And typically earlier in the day, some people find taking it late can interfere with sleep, though that's not universal.
Right. Third, how long until you might feel a difference?
It varies. Some people report feeling better within a few weeks, but for others, it might take 2 or 3 months for levels to optimize and to notice significant changes in mood or energy.
Patience is key then. And last one, can you actually get enough D3 just from sunlight?
The big question. It really depends. Your location, the season, your skin tone, how much skin you expose for how long. For many people, especially in winter, or if they have darker skin or limited exposure, the answer is often no supplementation might still be necessary.
Okay, that's super helpful, thanks. So it leaves us with a final thought, doesn't it? Considering how deeply our physical and mental health are intertwined, what other seemingly simple things, like sunshine exposure, might be profoundly influencing your well-being in ways you haven't even considered yet? Something to think about.
Thanks for tuning in to the Scenario Podcast. Don't forget to visit scenario.com for more expert tips, articles, and supplements designed to support your mental health. If you enjoyed this episode, remember to subscribe and share it with a friend. Until next time, take care of yourself.